Thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus going with another video review. And after a tremendous pain in the butt trying to actually get these guys from my local Toys R Us, today I'm very happy to be bringing you the review of the new NECA Toys Smeagol and Gollum. Now these are 1/4 scale figures, obviously from Lord of the Rings, and with the new Hobbit movie coming out, it's really cool to get a nice Smeagol and Gollum. And nobody else gives the amount of detail to their figures like NECA does. Now starting things off first, we're going to take a look at Smeagol. Now the figures are identical, the only thing that's different are the faces on here. But you really almost do have to get both of them, because one is Smeagol and one is Gollum. I mean, it really is, they're almost two entirely different characters, and if you've seen the Lord of the Rings, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Smeagol is a very sweet, very helpful kind of guy. Very similar to how he was before he became this grotesque creature. But then the Ring of Power came into his possession and really kind of warped his mind and really just completely changed him. Obviously, he's got this very kind of sweet look on his face. Very, very nice. I love it. Obviously, it says Smeagol here. Oh. See, and Gollum's always trying to ruin things, trying to get in here. Go away, Gollum. But you can see Smeagol 1/4 scale action figure come around here to the back. And again, beautiful image right here. And then it says, for the many years that he possessed the one ring of power, the creature Gollum was cursed with a long and pitiful life. Driven from his home, he became a wretched soul, a sniveling and gurgling fiend without a friend in the world except that which he called his precious. The ring tortured and consumed him, breaking his fragile mind until it became two distinct entities. Smeagol was his name from long ago, and what little remains of that self cowers within him from the cruel counsel of Gollum, his new ring-consumed self. Very cool. Awesome read up on here. Obviously, Lord of the Rings. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to be getting any more of these 1/4 scale figures from NECA, but I would absolutely love more NECA figures from the Lord of the Rings. As I said, they are the definitive company when it comes to creating likenesses of very iconic characters. And Smeagol is no exception to that. So, now bringing out Gollum, you come around here to the back, and he's got a little bit of a different read up. Tortured and wretched by the lure of the One Ring, Gollum is a withered, pitiful creature, driven mad and twisted by his loss of the One Ring decades ago. He is compelled to haunt Middle-earth, searching everywhere for the one thing in the world he ever cared for. His precious. So very cool. Absolutely wonderful. And then obviously this packaging says Gollum. So one thing that I will tell you is if you guys are interested in picking these up, if you go to your Toys R Us, as I did, the price on these were $80 a figure. Luckily, I contacted NECA while I was actually standing in line, and they're like, that's absolutely incorrect. That's the case price for both of these guys. The actual retail price that I got them for was $50 a piece. But Toys R Us tried to charge me $80 a piece for them. So if you go to your Toys R Us and you want to pick these up and their price is $80, that is absolutely incorrect. Talk to a manager and you should be able to get these at the proper price, because right now on ToysRUs.com they do have them listed at $50 a piece. So hopefully the system has corrected itself and there's no problems anymore. But let's get these two open and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have Gollum and Smeagol open up and out of their packaging. And right up front, I have to tell you that I review a lot of action figures. Transformers, NECA, Ninja Turtles, Hot Toys figure every here and there. And for me, honestly, this right here is my figure of the year. I absolutely adore and love these figures. Now I know what you guys are saying. Really? This is your figure of the year after this figure came out and that figure came out, and what about this guy? Honestly, I am so impressed with these guys that it really kind of makes me not pay attention to anything else. Now, granted, these are NECA. These are not Hot Toys. But these things right here seriously could give Hot Toys a run for their money. Now, despite the amount of love and attention that I think that these figures really deserve, to be totally fair, I have to give this as honest of a review as I possibly can. That being said, I do have to point out that there are some kind of flaws, I think, with the design. But really, there's not many. Now, starting things off, we're just going to move him off to the back. Starting things off first with Smeagol. Now, obviously, you can see that I have him in this crouched sort of pose. So there's that kind of thing, but really that's the kind of pose that's going to be best with him. You can stand him straight up, and I'll show that off here in a minute, but let me get him out of the way. And really zooming in here, I just want to highlight just how incredible the detail is on that face sculpt. That is one of the most amazing sculpts I've seen on a $40 figure. Now, depending on where you get this from, it's $40 to $50. I believe Toys R Us has it for $50, but there are places online such as eBay and Amazon that you can actually get it for $40. I mean, he's got the whip marks here from when he was a hostage basically in Mordor. I mean, so amazing, the just sheer amount of detail that's on here. You got all the various kind of like freckles on his face. You come around here, you can actually, it's so hard to see, like right there you can see a vein, a blue vein going through there. Now they're a little bit easier here, like for example on the arm you can see the veins kind of coming through here. I mean, you got them on his hand as well. This is just absolutely exquisite looking. And one of the reasons why I do say that this is the figure of the year, despite, you know, I got the Joker from Hot Toys. I think Batman came out around the same time. I'm not 100% sure, but this figure is only $40, guys. And the amount of detail that goes into this is absolutely amazing. This is a 1/4 scale figure as well. Now, starting off on the negative, because there really isn't that much, I guess one of my biggest complaints would be the hair. It seems like it's a little bit too long for him, and he's got real threaded hair. Well, it's like it's kind of glued up here on the back of his scalp, but that's kind of one thing. It almost looks like there's too much hair, at least on this figure. Gollum's is a little bit different, but it just appears like there's too much hair for him on this, and it's a little bit too long. I probably would want it to be cut about here to about where the shoulders are. If I remember going back, and I haven't done it in a while to the point where I actually paid attention to the hair for Gollum, but I don't think it was that long. I think it should be more, a little bit past the shoulders, but not all the way down to his elbows. And then it's too much, I think. It's just a lot of hair here on this figure. Those, honestly, are my two biggest gripes that I have. Now, I have heard a lot of people actually complain about the joints, saying that it makes it look too much like a toy, especially here in the knees. And I will concede that fact. It does have that look, but it's really not that bad. Number one, it's on a nude figure, and by nude I mean he is covered up, but I mean obviously this is his skin and everything. It's going to be a little bit more of an eyesore, I suppose. If you don't want the posability and you don't really want that look, get a statue. But this thing is articulated. It's spot on in terms of the likeness, and it is so just very fun. His loincloth here, I'm not going to gross anybody out, is a very soft, it honestly almost feels like it's real leather, and I can't tell you if that's plastic or if that's leather. I really have no idea, but I mean, just look at the detail on his feet here, which you see are articulated. I mean, so absolutely amazing. Honestly, I'm so blown away with this figure. Now, you do have some choices. Like I said, you could get the Smeagol version, or if you want a little bit more of a mean kind of figure, you can get the Gollum one. Now, both of these, like I said, are $40. They're sold separately, but really, it's almost, for me, you gotta have both of them. You gotta have Smeagol. You gotta have Gollum. That's just the way I am. But I mean, you can see that even this one, he's kind of got a lot of hair going on here. Smeagol decided he wanted to topple over a little bit, and again, it is fairly long, but it's I don't know, it doesn't seem as bad on this one as it does with the Smeagol figure. It feels like it's maybe it's just more spread out here or something, but beyond that, really very amazing. And the figures are essentially identical. Now I'm looking here at the feet. Gollum has a little bit dirtier looking feet, I guess, but as far as I can really tell, there are just very minor differences in terms of painting and stuff. The sculpt is identical except for the face. Now, for his articulation, it is amazingly articulated, again, for a $40 figure. The head is kind of on this ball joint. You don't get a lot of range of motion, but you can really kind of emote him. I mean, in a variety of different ways. I mean, it's really actually pretty good. The shoulders here are pin and sockets. They move in and out like so. They also rotate all the way around, and then they have a bicep swivel as well. So good motion right up there. And actually, I had his elbow twisted the wrong way. He does bend at the elbow. Does it actually? It doesn't rotate. Oh no, it actually does rotate at the elbow as well. So it's got a rotation at the elbow. Plus, it has that hair out of the way. A cut here up at the bicep. Then come around here to the wrist. These are these are on bits of ball joints. So these will move all the way around, back and forth. He does have this cut here at the abdomen. Again, people have complained about that because it kind of destroys the illusion. But honestly, it does not bother me. It really doesn't, and that's kind of a goofy look for him. I mean, yes, it does look like a toy, but it is a toy. And then the legs here are on ball joints, but they're a little bit more limited. I mean, like I said, he's really kind of designed to be standing in a crouch thing, and then bends at the knee, rotates at the knee. He's got feet. They're ball joints as well. Back, forth, they rotate. You can stand him straight up, but you are going to have him perpetually on a bit of a knee bend. It's not too much, and I'm trying to get this back as far as I can. And when you do stand him straight up, he's roughly about 10 inches or so tall. So this is definitely a figure that's not really gonna sit well with a lot of your other action figures, but regardless, it's really cool. And I mean, there's so many different poses that you can do. Here, let me try and do one here for you. It's so amazing. I mean, you can really get his head to bend all the way back like that as well. I mean, this is just an absolutely exquisite figure. To me, it's absolutely worth the $40 per figure. And I really cannot just praise NECA enough when it comes to this guy. It really is just an exceptional recreation of this character. Now, the unfortunate nature of things is, like I said, these are really only available at places like Toys R Us or your comic shops. Now, they don't really come out to places like Walmart or anything like that, so it may be harder to find these guys. And then, if you can only get one, you might have another problem in the fact, which one do you choose? I mean, both of these just are absolutely amazing. Me personally, I would probably go with the Smeagol version, just because that sweet look I really actually kind of like. I love the idea of him starting off like this, and then gradually coming back to his normal self. I think that Gollum really does have Smeagol really does have an inherent good quality to him that is just tainted by the One Ring. And that was actually a scene in the movie, or a part in the movie, that I really felt bad for. When he felt like he was betrayed by Frodo, and then the Gollum persona really started to come through, and really started to mess with Smeagol's head once again. But despite which version of this character you guys really like, I would absolutely recommend picking up one or both of them. And with the new Hobbit movie coming out, Gollum is going to be coming back. So hopefully we're going to get more kind of backstory, I guess, as Smeagol transforms into Gollum. But only time will tell, and hopefully we're around long enough to see it. But beyond that, guys, like I said, well worth picking up. But that's about it, guys. So once again, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, this has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.
We needs it. Must have the precious. They stole it from us. Sneaky little hobbitses. Wicked, tricksy, false. No, master. Yes, precious, false. They will cheat you, hurt you, lie. Master's my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening. You're a liar. And a thief. No.